With a 9-month lead, we think that if the dollar keeps falling and rates keep going down, then financial conditions are getting better. It could push it out farther than we think. There's no way we know for sure yet, but it doesn't feel like the end of the cycle will happen this year. They are all different, but the same. We all felt the scar tissue from the last cycle, and it seems to be showing up in a lot of the comments right now. When will XRP reach its highest price? That's the question I get asked most often on this channel. How much will XRP cost? When do you think this will happen? What can we do to make the most of this? That's what I get asked a lot of times every single day. Today, Raoul Pal and Jamie Coots will be here to talk about this with us. They will give us some very useful information about this bull run, previous cycles, and as they already said, the scar tissue from the last cycle and how that's changing, how things are going to play out this time. Please hit the like button so that everyone can see the movie. Let's start. On a high level, I think everyone always wants to be sure of something. Is it already over? Do you know if we're all going to die? What's going to happen? Do I have the wrong tokens? There's a lot of fear in the room, and a lot of holding hands needs to be done. I guess we start at the top level of where the hell are we? Yes. Let's talk about market psychology, I guess. I guess so. Each turn is different, but the same. And it seems like a lot of the comments right now is showing the scar tissue from the last cycle that we all felt. I agree. It's now every 4 years. Now is the time for it to end. So it will, last cycle, it was like to the moon forever because no one is keeping an eye on it. Well, there were people like you who were really getting a hold on it, and it was really early. No, I failed too in the last cycle because I thought there was still one more leg to go. Okay then, yes, then I guess everyone has cut this cycle short, and for good reason. There are also solid theories that say this is the time when things start to get peaky, but we haven't had a normal business cycle, and not many people do the kind of business cycle research that you and Julian do. So that framework that everything at Real Vision and GMI is built on is greatly missed in other places. But it seems like a mindless response to the market that now is the time to pee. It's been interesting to see the debate on Twitter, among other places, and even among our members about who is the top in. So yeah, I'm always interested in market psychology and how it shows up in the market. What I also find interesting is that everyone is now very aware of the cash cycle and how that will change things in the future, even though we still think we have a long way to go. All of those things are kind of unknowns, but the framework we have here makes it very clear that we still have a long way to go. We've talked about my Bitcoin cycle risk theory and the topping indicators I've been making. I mean, they're not yelling euphoria at me. Yes, there are definitely signs of trend exhaustion and underlying deterioration in the Bitcoin chart, which I talked about in my last report. But I think that's more due to the move into higher beta crypto, mostly through ETH, and the decline in Bitcoin's popularity, which is normal at this point in the cycle, right? Yes. The change really began in the second quarter, but it was clear by July, when I was on paternity leave, that the change had already happened. This is because I looked at the on-chain data on Bitcoin, the ETF flows between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and the price action. It all fits with the time when the crypto market went from Bitcoin being the most popular cryptocurrency to a high-quality alt season run. This is not the dash for trash market that happened in 2021 when people got stimulus checks, but a high quality alt season run right now. That's about where I am now. Also, I want to know where your head is when we talk about the great alt season. On the top of my list are quality layer ones, projects that bring in money, and a few big things that get people's attention, even if they don't bring in money or anything else. Hyperlit is clearly one of them based on what we're seeing. Athena could be another one. We're seeing Sui and Solana, of course. How do you think this next phase will go, and what kinds of tokens is it for? Yeah, I like how you boiled that down to a very clear U-shaped picture of what's important. What about cash flows? Are there protocols that are fundamentally strong? That is, do they have cash flows, usage, give utility, and have very strong tokenomics? There are a few of them, and the market rewards them as it should. I've always thought that as this asset class grows and as the, for lack of a better word, intelligence of the average new investor rises, they will look at fundamentals more and more. That's always been my first thought. I think that's how things are going. You said that Hyperliquid was making a lot of money, the kind of cash flow or revenues that would make a NASDAQ 100 company wet its pants. In terms of growth, the multiples, I know we're not talking about like for like, Hyperlid is trading on a revenue multiple that would put it between the median of a tech stock in the S&P, but it's those high quality tokens, L1s, and the DeFi protocols that will get people's attention because they're not going away, to be clear. Jokes are not going away. It's even possible that this is my first meme roll, but we can talk about that later. Because also, you should know that the Doge ETF starts trading tomorrow. It will have already come out by the time this comes out, which is kind of green. Yes, I was going to write that down in my note. Okay, fine. No, I think it's a much smarter market, and you're not seeing the broad-based rise. I mean, I think we're still in the early stages of this alt season, for lack of a better word. But until the end, it will be a very selective recovery. At that point, there will be short-term pumps and small caps, real small caps with no product market fit that will start running. And that's on my list of things to do for a market peak. We're not there. That's why you heard it right there. Watch out for that. You need to know when things don't make sense. While projects that don't build anything useful are going through the roof, we're really not close to that right now. Some people say that this could be some of what's going on in Pump Fund. Now, I think that will not last long. There's nothing going on there. It looks like it's just a way to get cash. It's just something else to do. These small cap projects are going crazy, just like they did in 2021. It's also possible that won't happen, but we need to keep an eye on the Federal Reserve and the other central banks around the world.